when I watched that interview clip with you, I was like, this is the most in-depth personal account that I've heard so far about what might have been going on at the Diddy parties. And this is like someone who just saw a bunch of shit and you didn't even like partake in it, which is kind of shocking because it's like, if this had really been going on for like 10 years, there's probably thousands, maybe just hundreds, but for sure, like, for sure, many hundreds of women who are involved in this kind of thing. Not to mention, you know, waiters and assistants.
Oh,
and
yeah.
all kinds of shit. Why do you think that we haven't heard any firsthand accounts? I guess besides the people who are actually suing or filing charges.
Because I wasn't even going to say anything. The first thing we think is he's Diddy. Who's going to believe
You're
us?
just scared? Did he get locked up and that made you want to do the software underbelly thing?
No, he got locked up and I had already I was talking about my life on Soft White Underbelly, and I was like, the reason why I stopped doing like running plays and doing all this shit because I almost got sex trafficked. And then I was like, we were dealing with a lot of people in the house, famous people's house. We ended up at P. Diddy's house, and I just felt sex trafficking from it. So I just said I ended up at P. Diddy's house, and that's it. I briefly talked about P. Diddy, not even a second more. And people were in the comments already like, did she say Diddy? She's lying. She ain't went to no Diddy house. Girl, please. If you got sex, you ain't ended up at Diddy's house. And then 2 years later, 2024, oh, voila. What I was talking about. Remember, I was lying, remember? So this is why people don't say nothing, because first of all, you look like a liar. He has more money than you. If you call the police or say anything, then what? We're thinking like he got enough money to say he didn't do it or cover it up or... But now it must have happened so much.
Yeah.
It must have happened so much for somebody with $1 billion. I don't know if it's because he's black or what.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane to think that somebody could just go from being like a regular horny guy at one point in his life to like needing more and more and more. And I kind of get that because like I've definitely been through the thing of like, oh, you get sick of just one girl per night. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can get her to bring a friend.
And then what about the fetishes, the little people? What about little shit?
Some other shit.
But you
hear that. Like, that's always the conspiracy is like, oh, rich dudes get rich and then they want to please themselves and their crazy sexual desires to the point where they start doing shit that's illegal, unethical, etc. Like, you don't usually hear many like real examples with evidence.
You wouldn't even imagine what people's fetishes are. When I used to do Backpage, I got $2,900 for just putting my feet in a plate of coke and shoving it up somebody's nose. While he talked about his fetish, which was jerk off, talking about he always wanted to have sex with a fat black girl on Section 8 that lives in the projects. And once he let me talk about her, once I let him talk about her, he said, just let me talk and listen. And he was, I'm like, what the? I never would have thought. So he said, can you find this type of girl? I said, I got them all day.
You want me to find a fat bitch?
How much you gonna give me for this? I will bring so many fat bitches in here.
Get your whole school bus.
He said, I wanted to have a little ponytail. I said, got him.
Wow, what the yeah.
And do a whole lot of it. A whole lot of it. And he, he gave me my money and the kids' Christmas was great.
Right. And I will say, just because you said awful lot of it, there would be a part of me that would be like more suspicious of some of your stories. But really, like, I've asked a lot of people about you over the years. Desto Dub, Brick Baby, etc. A lot of people, they'll be like, yeah, Tanea, cool. She's solid. You know? Like, and like normally when it comes to the crazy bitch category,
even if you do one thing, they be like, I remember this one time this bitch flipped out.
To get put into the crazy bitch category.
And the weird bitch, like anything is weird for these people, right? But the reason why I'm so cool is because I've kept my composure knowing that I don't want them to have nothing on me. So I made sure my side life, even if I was or whatever, I wasn't until I was you get what I'm saying? So they would never know unless they seen that type of behavior if I told them.
Right.
And then, I keep it real for the most part, so people kind of probably respect that, like, oh, she told me already.
Right. Okay, so you leave this whole fiasco with the Prince and the Diddy shit, whatever. You go back to the hood and decide to have kids with Snoopy Badass? How does this work?
Man, the devil was after me again. He like, I couldn't get her that time. Let me try to get her this time. I said, God damn, I can't win. So I'm going into my own thing.